Okay, we're going to do a toast before we start this reading. Shot 30 in 2 minutes. One lucky person is going to win a copy of this new book. After we're going to put the raffle up. First, you're going to get a sneak peek. You're only getting the sex scene, just the sex scene. She doesn't want to give anything away. That's the thing. It's like a futuristic thriller. You basically have to read Hamartia first. Read Hamartia, and then this is the sequel. So one day when it's a movie, you'll be like, I know author Raquel Rich. Right? And then you can all meet us down in Hollywood at the movie premiere. Tonga Kid getting out the limo. Excuse me, how you doing? How you doing? DJ Tonga Kid. She said you're going to be her official announcer whenever she goes anywhere. You got a job for life, Tonga Kid. All right, you guys ready? We're going to do shot 30. Cheers to the new book, all the success in the world. I hope you have, so that I can quit my job. I can quit my job. Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
All right. So this is actually a little awkward. This is actually very awkward. I have all kinds of thank yous to give, and I probably should do a speech, but I don't have one. Jilly Macker, who's in the room, was a beta reader for my book as well as the first book. So if you don't enjoy it, it's her fucking fault. Six Love City is the voice, as you probably noticed on the trailer. So thank you, Six Love City. D Squared has been my #1 supporter, probably. Actually, you're probably a close second to my #1 supporter, which is Greg Rich. Leggy Lou's a very big supporter as well. Leggy Lou has also been there since day one. I don't know if she's still in the chat. I've been working on this entire series since 2012. This bitch, Grace, has been living in my head that long. And I don't even like her. So so hopefully, if you enjoy the book, you will leave me a review, because that's the biggest compliment that you can pay me. And I chose a sexy scene for Donna Lynn, actually. I thought that she would enjoy this. And hopefully you do too, because you all are a bunch of hornballs. Okay, let's get this going. Holy fuck, this is awkward. Okay. They've gone out. Check out of the hotel room, and then some all-night grocery place. Mark answers my unasked question. You had the only keys, so one of us had to stay behind. I volunteered. He takes another sip, holds his glass out in front of him. Want some? His voice is low in both volume and octave. He is too calm, and it makes me nervous. I won't bite, he says nonchalantly, and shakes his glass, clinking the ice cubes around. I reach for the light switch on the wall. Leave it off, he commands, in an almost whisper. I swallow hard, and my chest heats up. I take my jacket off and hang it on the hook to my left, then unglue my feet from the floor to approach him. When I reach for the drink he's offering, he pulls his arm back before I can grasp it, and his other hand simultaneously snatches my wrist and pulls me onto his lap in one smooth motion. My breath catches in my windpipe. I sit completely still, stunned. Mark takes another swig before setting the glass on the floor beside him. Come here, he whispers, and he adjusts my position on his lap, his hands using my hips as handles. The smell of alcohol drips off his words. I'm surprised to feel his erection against my thigh, and his hand pushing its way up beneath my skirt. I spring off his lap, taken aback. My blood thumps in my eardrums, and even the tips of my ears throb. He laughs, drunk, and rises from his seat. I back away from him as he lazily walks toward me, like I'm his prey who knows she's been caught by her predator. But unlike an animal about to be victim of an attack, stand by. I want to be devoured by him. It's just that guilt, lust, and longing are all the wrong reasons. He doesn't sound like my Mark. Well, his voice does, just not his tone or his choice of words. When he walks through a streak of light, I can see enough to detect drunken desire on his face, his eyes undressing me. Will you tell me your name? I ask under my breath, certain that if I hear his name, it'll send me running away from him instead of toward him. Please, I plead as my back hits the wall. He doesn't stop his approach, and when he reaches me, he covers me with his body, roughly grinding himself against me. My hands sprawl over his pecs to keep him from coming closer. He doesn't ease off. He ignores my resistance, cranes his neck, and breathes in my ear. I want you. He lets his teeth catch my lobe before kissing the spot just under it. I melt. This is the first time he's shown any desire for me, good or bad, since he looked at me with disgust at Leo's gravesite, the moment he began to openly hate me. Do you want me? He asks, then brings his face to mine, nose to nose. He searches my eyes for an answer. My hands tremble on his warm chest, his heart beating fast under my palms. He's not Mark, not really, but he feels like him. His breathing is heavy, and so is mine. I don't respond, but I also don't stop him from hiking my skirt up and slipping his hand beneath my leggings, over my panties and stroking. I move my hips in anticipation. A tremor runs up my back, and I dig my nails into his chest. He presses all his weight against me, then forces one of my arms off his chest and pins it against the wall. Can I have you? He asks, looking me dead in my eyes and caressing me heavenly. He bites his lower lip, and he waits for me to grant permission. I almost deny it. I almost push him away with my free hand. Almost. Instead, I unhook my claws from his chest and let my free arm fall limp to my side, giving him the green light to have his way with me. But Mark misinterprets my surrender for denial and comes to a full stop. He releases my wrist, and his fingers travel down my sides, leaving behind a trail of goosebumps, his eyes still on mine. Then he takes a small step back. I panic, confused by a sudden feeling that I need this to happen, that it will magically solve everything between us. I'm close to tears because I do want him, and I am desperate for him to want me too, even if it's the alcohol talking. I've felt so alienated since he's withheld his love that I'll take him any way I can. I grab at his belt, and I pull him back to me, catching us both by surprise, and the doubt in his eyes disintegrates. He slides down to his knees, fusses to pull my leggings down, off my buttocks, halfway down my thighs. He doesn't take them right off, and before I can help him undress me, he ducks his head under my skirt, lifts the edge of my panties, and his tongue flickers my sweet spot. Fingers penetrate me and nearly send me over the edge, but not quite. He stops just before and makes his way back up. He kisses me hard, squeezing my breast with one hand while messing with his belt buckle with the other. I hear the clasp come undone, and he stops kissing me, flips me around, slamming me against the cool wall, then twists one arm behind my back. I'm sure he's bruising me, and I don't know why I like it. His roughness is foreign. He is not my Mark, I remind myself. I should want him to stop. Tell me your name, I insist through my panting, a fleeting moment of clarity hitting me. If he admits that he isn't my husband and doesn't love me, maybe I'll snap out of this trance. Are you sure you want me? He breathes into my hair as he presses up against me. Yes or no? His buckle clangs when it hits the ground, and his jeans, and he rubs up against me, bare. But he waits for an answer. I nod yes. He uses his legs to spread mine, widening my stance with his feet and pushing against me, stretching my panties to one side. I bring my hands up to a push-up stance on the wall in an attempt to raise my face off the surface. Say it, he commands. I whisper a yes, barely heard over the sound of my pounding heart. Louder, he shouts in my ear as he pulls out my hips and enters me with force. I start to cry, mourning the loss of my Mark, though not loud enough for him to notice. But even if he did, I doubt he'd care, so long as I don't change my mind about sex. Say it, he shouts again as he grips my hips and pumps, my cheeks scrubbing against the wall. I'm clenching my fists and my nails dig into my palms with each thrust. What's your name? I shout through gritted teeth, tears streaming down my cheeks as he humps me harder and harder, faster. Say it, he grabs the side of my head and a fistful of hair, his elbow jabbing into my back. Yes, I shout back, desperate for this to be over, yet yearning for him to keep at me and to take what he wants, to push harder, deeper, faster. Yes, yes, I shout repeatedly, each time he demands me to, over and over, until his words evolve and morph into growls and grunts. And then he finishes. But not me. I don't finish. My mood is ruined by the reminder that I'm being fucked by a total stranger and feeling dirty about wanting more. I don't think he cares that I don't finish, that he leaves me unsatisfied. He slips out of me, yanks my leggings up halfway, not bothering to fix my underwear or wipe away the warm, wet mess. I turn around and lean against the wall, spent, and watch as he slides his legs back into his pants and then saunters away as if nothing happened. He flops down onto the chair, picks up his half-finished drink from the floor beside him, and chugs. His breath in his cup is loud, and I can hear each swallow of drink, which he finishes in 4 big gulps. My name is Cyrus, he says coldly, watching me. I openly cry, realizing once and for all that my mark is gone and what just happened tonight was the absolute end. So I sob as I lean against the wall. And what does he do? He reaches to the other side of the couch for a bottle, refills his drink, and holds it out to me like a carrot to a donkey. An ass. I've never felt so alone. And this is where you're supposed to applaud and say all sorts of nice shit to me. And if you would like to purchase my book, I believe Six Love City is going to put links in the chat, or you can put !book and the links will come up. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much for joining me on my book party. Yes, fucking Yellowstone.